What is up, Gundam Meisters and Innovators? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are returning to the 24th century in Mobile Suit Gundam 00. Last time, the Gundam Meisters attacked Moralia and prevented more war from breaking out. In this episode, we will see a terrorist network pop up. Also, the perfect Gundam Meisters just might not be so perfect. Grab your Haro and let's get into this. We start with the flashback of 2299 AD, where Ali tells a group of young terrorists that they will offer themselves to God for this holy war. In order to do that, however, they must kill their parents. Setsuna is one of these children. Setsuna snaps out of it and begins fighting Ali. Setsuna recognizes Ali's moves. He remembers shooting his mother. This enrages Setsuna, but he doesn't attack. He gets out of his cockpit and meets him face to face. He is going against Veda's mission by doing this. Ali takes off his helmet to confirm it is him. Suddenly, Dynamis comes in and breaks up the meeting. Sumeragi yells at Setsuna and tells him to move forward with Phase 6. Graham is watching the events go down. Also watching is Sergei, who thinks Moralia should surrender. PMC Trust execs are maddened by the more than usual losses they experience. The 4 Gundam pilots do a trench run. Tieria tells Setsuna that he will shoot him if he messes up again. Ali joins up with his squad and wonders for a moment if he knows the Gundam pilot. The Gundam pilots emerge from their trench run to find the Moralian headquarters. The Gundams go to town on the base and completely destroy it in less than 5 minutes. The Moralian forces send out a white flag. Their mission is complete. Graham, Billy, and Eichmann meet with one another. They think this will greatly benefit the AEU. Saji and Luis see a broadcast on Moralia. Saji ponders if Celestial Being was the one who saved their lives in space. On the beach, we get our first bright punch of the series. Lock-On punches him because he gave away his identity to Ali. Everyone points their guns at one another. Hado almost kills itself. Speaking of kills, Saji and Luis go out on the town when a bus explodes by them. Celestial Being is informed that there were 7 terrorist attacks simultaneously around the world. A total of 100 people lost their lives, and they seemed to focus their attacks on city infrastructure. Unless Celestial Being stops their actions, these terrorist attacks will continue. Tieria doesn't really care about the lives of civilians and wants to continue their operation. Lock-On yells at him for not having a soul. Setsuna unfortunately thinks that Tieria is correct. The 4 are all mad at the global terrorist network, but Lock-On more so than others. We get a flashback of similar bombings happening in his past. Hado recognizes that he is angry. Wang and Hong are looking into the terrorist organization. They get a notification of another bombing around Shanghai. Meanwhile, it is time for a beach episode. The Gundam Meisters meet up with the Ptolemaeus team, but their meeting is abrupt as they head out to their next mission. At HRL, Sergei is informed of the terrorist attacks as well. Graham goes out in his custom flag as he grows impatient. Marina is still trying to get power for her nation. She is currently touring the AEU. Saji's sister Kinoe speculates that Celestial Being has an ulterior motive to their actions. Saji never thought that this would actually affect him. Everyone remains on standby in various locations throughout Earth, waiting for Veda to tell them their next move. Setsuna thinks of his past under the leadership of Ali. He gets a message to move forward on foot. At that same time, Marina gets escorted to her vehicle. Setsuna chases a brown coupe. At the same time, Marina passes by Setsuna. Setsuna goes in and tries to shoot the vehicle, but it gets away. A cop comes in and stops Setsuna, but Marina's car pulls up and saves him. She initially thought that he was from Azatistan, but he informs her that he is actually from Krugis, the land that her people took over. Awkward. Setsuna introduces himself as Kamal. He walks away, but she wants to talk to him longer. Meanwhile, Wang and Hong are able to get a lead on the terrorist network. Marina tells Setsuna about her nation's energy needs. He reminds her that people die while people talk, and that she is responsible for the downfall of Krugis. She wonders if he was one of the child soldiers back in the day. Setsuna tells her that he is still fighting. He tells her that he is a Gundam Meister, a part of Celestial Being. Wang finally decodes the terrorist network's message. The Gundam Meisters hop into action. Setsuna gets back in his Gundam. Meanwhile, the Ptolemaeus team continues their beach episode. Virtue instantly takes out his terrorist objective with ease. Lock-On is using short-range weapons before moving on to sniping. Exia's objective is on the sea, but when he attacks the ships, a mobile armor drags him under the water. The MAJ-03 Sweet Shy is an aquatic mobile armor from the HRL. Like the Tieten ground type, the cockpit is monitorless, with the pilot viewing images and data via the head-mounted display system in the helmet, which I think sucks. Would you want a giant VR headset on your head while piloting? Let me know in the comments. It has a torpedo launcher and 3 claw arms for close combat. This is an older mobile armor, and in the 24th century, it doesn't really stand a chance to modern machines. Yeah, so anyways, Exia tears through the Swede-Shy. All Gundams have completed their mission and put a stop to the terrorists. Marina, continuing her tour, gets a visit from Setsuna and Gundam Exia to show he is telling the truth. Lock-On goes to visit a grave carrying flowers. He sees that someone else has already visited and wonders, could it be his twin brother? It is. Conflict has died down a little bit since Celestial Being's intervention. They haven't had a full-scale attack since the Battle of Moralia, but now HRL is making their moves. Sergei is prepping a squad to capture the Gundams. Of course, Soma is a part of his team. Exia and Dynames dock with the Ptolemaeus in space. We get the Haro team coming in and doing maintenance on the Gundam. Sergei's team is putting communication devices all throughout their sector of the solar tower. Since Celestial Beings' GN particles disrupt radar, they will place these everywhere and monitor where they lose communication. They are sure this is where Celestial Being will be. In Tokyo, Luis's mother has come to take Luis away as she believes it is too dangerous there. Marina is meeting with the UN representative, Alejandro. It seems to be her final option. However, they have nothing to offer the UN and wonder what value could be gained from an arrangement. HRL is prepping a mission to attack Celestial Being. Felt and Lock-On have a conversation. Felt tells Lock-On that her parents were second-generation Gundam Meisters, and today is the anniversary of their death. Lock-On says that she is very strong. He also tells Felt that his real name is Neil DeLandy, and he is from Ireland. He felt he should share since she shared her past. The bridge notices that HRL has sent out communication devices throughout space. Dynames isn't prepared for battle, which is who Sumeragi wanted to send out. She instead sends out Virtue and Kyrios. Felt returns to the bridge as the pilots launch. Lock-On is impatient and gets in his Gundam as well. HRL notices that 3 split up on the radar and that Celestial Being is most likely trying to bait them. Sergei decides to go for the bait. Tietans launch from the Lauhu. Sergei spots the Ptolemaeus for the first time. The EDI 402 Lauhu class ship is an HRL space carrier. It has the ability to hold up to 12 mobile suits. It's mainly used for transport, but it is equipped with missile launchers, a linear cannon, and a laser cannon. Virtue and Kyrios strike down the Lauhus, but they have already launched their mobile suits and abandoned these ships. It was a way to waste the 2 mobile suits' time. It will take 6 minutes for them to return to the Ptolemaeus. Sumeragi learns of Sergei Smirnov, the White Bear of Russia. Dynames and Exia launch. The leg of the Dynames hasn't been fixed yet, so he has to find a good spot to camp. The Ptolemaeus cuts their power and hides within the solar tower. Dynames shoots at HRL mobile suits. He adjusts manually and fires on the missiles heading towards the Ptolemaeus. It is a direct hit. They fire again, but Lock-On uses its small missiles from its knees and fires on the Lauhu. It destroys the ship. Sumeragi turns back on the GN field of the Ptolemaeus. More Tietans approach them. Exia goes in and does some close combat damage, but they begin to spread out. Lock-On is struggling to get a shot. Felt realizes that the HRL is after the Gundam and not the Ptolemaeus. On his way back to the ship, Kyrios runs into a series of mines. Another HRL fleet launches, including Soma and the Tieten Taotsu. Her appearance causes Allelujah to panic. As Setsuna picks off the HRL mobile suits, he realizes that they are trying to buy time for some reason. Soma and Allelujah meet on the battlefield. Tietans go in and use a carbon net on Kyrios, trapping it. Soma gets in close to the Gundam. Sergei recognizes Allelujah's voice from their past incident. He then realizes that the brainwaves interfering with Soma is this Gundam pilot. Allelujah passes out. Dynames, Exia, and the Ptolemaeus have their hands full. They have no clue where Tieria or Allelujah are. HRL spots a heat source. It is the bazooka of Gundam Virtue. He comes in and helps Kyrios. He maximizes his GN field and preps his bazooka again. Tieria says that Allelujah is not worthy of piloting the Gundam. Suddenly, Soma and the Tieten Taotsu comes in and attacks Virtue. Soma is too fast for Virtue's chunkiness. Tieria uses the Gundam's GN cannon and vaporizes Soma's legs. Tietans go and back up Soma. On the Lauhu, a team is trying to break into Gundam Kyrios. Allelujah finally snaps out of it, most likely as Hallelujah, and makes his escape with his GN beam saber. Sergei notices that Ship 4 has been lost. He goes in to capture Gundam Virtue. He fires his bazooka, but he is too slow. They surround and use their carbon wire launcher on Virtue. It tries to keep the Gundam in place, but he maxes out the GN field. His Gundam has more force than 6 Tierans. Soma comes in and attacks while Tieria is tied down. Tieria has no choice but to activate Nadleeh. The GN-004 Gundam Nadleeh is a mobile suit that exists within Virtue Gundam. When activated, its main feature, the trial system, is also activated. This allows the mobile suit to deactivate any mobile suit within its range that is connected to Veda. Only Innovades can use the trial system. He sheds his armor to reveal the slimmer mobile suit underneath Virtue. He is able to break free from the restraints and go to town on HRL. Tieria is upset that he showed off Nadleeh to the public sooner than he planned. He cries to Veda for being a fuck-up like the rest of the celestial being. Yeah, not completely perfect, are you? You are still part human, bitch. Setsuna and Dynames are fighting furiously when HRL gets a retreat signal. The Ptolemaeus goes out to find Virtue and Kyrios. As Sergei and Soma make the retreat, they run into Hallelujah, who made his escape. He recognizes Soma as the same as him and goes in to attack. The Tieran Taotsu notes that he is just playing with her and isn't doing any real damage. Sergei is too valuable, so one of his men goes in and assists Soma, but Kyrios tears through him with ease. Soma and Sergei don't let their comrade's sacrifice go to waste and retreat. The soldier tells Hallelujah as his Tieran is on the verge of destruction that one day he will get his comeuppance. Hallelujah is mad and melts the dude from the inside. Allelujah tries to take control of Hallelujah. He is eventually able to get control of the body and feels regret for that soldier. He recognizes himself as a monster. Exia, Dynames, and the Ptolemaeus notice that Nadleeh has been activated. Everyone is frustrated that they can't somehow mess up the mission. Wang and Hong wonder why Veda chooses those with imperfections. Meanwhile, Alejandro of the UN and Ribbons simply wait to make their move. And that will do it for this episode. We have seen celestial beings step up and bring forth a little bit of peace, but this is the first time that we are starting to see them not as Gundam Meisters, but as imperfect humans, even Tieria, who is an Innovade. Next time on Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Allelujah confronts Hallelujah and his past. Setsuna confronts his past, and Lock-On shoots his past. But until next time, Innovators, remember that even if you are a Gundam Meister, you are still human. Peace.